So he says, when I do a presentation and I recommend to the audience that they give me a very upbeat response to how are you. Some of them always come up to me and they say, what if I really don't feel terrific after I give you that answer? Because honestly, I'm not feeling that terrific and I'm not feeling that great. And this is where he says that most of them are telling us the truth and most of them are sharing what they've learned along the way and stuff. And he says that, and there's an example of a lady, Sally. So he would say, whenever someone would ask her, how are you? She would perfectly be honest about it. And she'd say, I'm tired and I'm exhausted. Okay. So this used to happen to me. I mean, I remember, uh, I think in the early 2009 or 2010, most of my posts were around this. So somebody would ask me how you're doing. Honestly, I was in the middle of a lot of work and stuff, and I would really feel tired and exhausted, and I would put that on my social media page and stuff. And then I would do my meditation, and I would do my Buddhism chanting, and I would do my other school of thoughts and stuff, and I would go back to the office, and people would tell me, but your post the previous night said you were really exhausted, but you don't seem like that. And I would like to share that, I was writing that because I was conditioned that way. And I'm giving you insights. I mean, I'm not blaming anybody here, but I'm just saying how a little thought shift helps and stuff. And so I would say I'm tired, I'm exhausted. So the thought or the energy that you're sending to yourself at the end of the day or at any point of the day is that you're tired and exhausted and you really cannot do anything more. And then she says the same thing here. She says, I would say that I'm tired and I'm exhausted. So what would happen? I would reinforce the belief that I'm tired and I would feel more fatigued. And then the problem would go down to my shoulders and I would let out a sigh and I'll be in a very lousy and a very bad state of mind and stuff. But everybody was used to seeing me that way around me and stuff. So they thought that was normal. But only I knew what I was going through and stuff. But that's the way I was conditioned and that's the way I would have my answers. And then he says that when Sally would have a grueling day or a bad day, she would be exhausted and she would plop herself in a favorite chair and open up the newspaper and look at the lottery numbers. And then she would pick up her own ticket out of her wallet and she would discover and she would think that she's holding a ticket of $1 million and she would imagine that she's won $10 billion. But she says, why would she do that? So she says she would do that because she was very tired and to lift herself, she would play these games with her. And then we had to explain things to her that it's the way you think and it's the way you kind of talk to yourself and stuff. And we had never seen her jumping and leaping out of her chairs, and we would never see her screaming or waving, or we would never see her excited and stuff. She would only do that in her aerobics class, and we would not see her doing that during the end of the day and stuff. And then there was another example of another lady and another girl. She was a bundle of energy, and she would probably stay up all night celebrating and planning what she wanted to do with her money and stuff. But what was the difference in the two of them? The difference was that the other lady, the second lady, had a transformation which was entirely mental, and rather than diminishing and exhausting herself as to how Sally was feeling, which was real tiredness and stuff, she would rather tell herself other things, which was selective, and she would look at feeling good and feeling better, and she would never question herself that what if I don't feel terrific. She would believe, like children do and like most people do. Sometimes people do that, they just go out and they know they're going to have a good time. You're feeling low at the end of the day, or you have a weather like this and a coffee's not helping, so you just kind of walk around, or you just read some books, or you get talking to people, or you get into a happening environment or whatever, and you suddenly feel uplifted. So, in a nutshell, what I mean is a cloudy day suddenly becomes a day of sunshine and happening disposition and stuff. So, the question, what if I don't feel terrific? One doesn't have to address themselves so many times. One has to just put uh, faith and thinking into feeling energized, and when you go with that feeling, you're obviously going to feel that. So rather than giving the practiced answers, pause, think how you answer, think what you think. Tell yourself that. I'll give you an example. So these are these boots that I'm wearing. Why am I wearing them at home? I mean, before I thought, I was thinking, why am I wearing them at home when I'm doing my work and stuff like that? And I've just been off painkillers a few days back and stuff, and I'm trying to get back to the normalcy of days in life. And boots is something which I've loved, in my formative years and other years. And of course, I'm still young, so I'm trying to get into this mind training that I can wear boots and heels for a longer time and stuff. So these are these little things. I'm sharing this as an example that, if you want to kind of see, or if you want to address, let's say, a fear, or if you want to address a way of thinking, or if you want to address the normal ways of looking at an illness or a health concern or whatever, try these little things, and that's going to definitely help you,